Dan Arbell is a former Israeli diplomat and a senior fellow at the Center for Middle East Policy. He joins us now live from Washington. Dan, good to have you.
Thanks. Good evening.
Has Israel laid out its case well enough that there was some imminent threat and that Islamic Jihad was planning some kind of operation?
I think it has, because in the days leading up to the beginning of the operation, the entire southern part of Israel was under complete lockdown, as Israel feared an imminent attack from the Islamic Jihad. And Israel warned the Islamic Jihad that if it plans to carry out an attack, then Israel would respond forcibly, suggesting to the Islamic Jihad not to go in that direction. But as a preemptive measure, Israel saw that Islamic Jihad is not backing out and decided to attack when the time is right, catching Islamic Jihad by surprise and neutralizing some of its offensive capabilities.
Go ahead, Dan.
Go ahead. No, so this is, Israel launched this preemptive strike. This is ongoing right now, but I don't think Israel is interested in a wider offensive. And I think that in the next few days, Israel would seek to end this if it can.
I think "if it can" is a very wise phrase to put on the end there. And we've heard criticism of Israel over this operation in particular from, for example, a member of the International Crisis Group saying that, Israel took part in other smaller operations and raid after raid after raid leading up to this, thereby, in some of these people's opinions, stoking the tensions first. And now with this operation, this really has a potential to erupt even more.
Well, unfortunately, we see a recurrence of this exchange of fire and these clashes and attacks and counterattacks and retaliatory attacks almost on an annual basis. The last one was in May 2021. The one before that was in 2019. And, the Gaza issue is an issue that needs to be resolved. There's no military solution to the Gaza problem, and it needs to be dealt with politically, diplomatically. Unfortunately, what we're witnessing is that a terrorist organization is threatening towns, villages, settlements, innocent Israelis on the other side, and Israel needs to protect its citizens, and that's why it's taking these actions. Obviously, there is a regretful loss of innocent lives when fire is exchanged, but I don't think Israel is aiming to attack citizens. It's rather focusing on targeted strikes against the Islamic Jihad targets.
We did hear the Israeli government talk about this being a very targeted precision operation. However, now when you're hearing some of these numbers coming out of Palestinian areas, that at least half a dozen children have been killed, some 200 civilians wounded, that doesn't sound all that precise.
Well, again, from what I gather, the Israeli attacks were surgical strikes at Islamic Jihad targets. And I think that innocent people may have been caught in the line of fire, but I do not think that Israel intentionally is targeting innocent people, especially not children. And so it's regretful, any loss of life. But I think that in this case, and again, your reporter did mention that the 5 children that were killed in another attack are Israel claims that they're from the Islamic Jihad fire. So there's an argument about that, about who's responsible. But I agree with you. Any loss of life is regretful, and I think that only a political solution to the Gaza issue is the way forward. And unfortunately, we're going to see this year in, year out, as long as there's no political solution to the Gaza issue.
Right. I mean, hopefully, even just in the near term, there's some way to de-escalate this. Dan, good to talk to you. Thanks so much.
Good evening. Thank you.